Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below, your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see here on our channel or our website. Again, reach out to me directly. It's in the description, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. And today we're discussing the most exciting thing in German sports watches for 2019. This was the Glashutte Original Spezialist SeaQ Panorama date. A timepiece that represents possibly the best of the new Spezialist dive watch line. It's inspired loosely by the vintage reference RPTS 200, but unlike the re-edition model, this one's larger, more deluxe in its equipment and its mechanical specification. The panorama date, of course, present and correct down 4 o'clock, making this dial distinctively Teutonic in the timepiece idiom. The timepiece, of course, is large. At 43.2 millimeters, it wears almost like a Blancpain 50 Fathoms. Now, you can see the timepiece is substantial because it's also 15.7 millimeters thick, but with a nicely shaped, arced, and cambered case. The spacing between the lugs is a contemporary 21 millimeters, and the lug-to-lug span is 51.3 millimeters. Throwing it on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, it wears well. Like the 50 Fathoms, it's a big dive watch that wears rather compact. It's not excessively huge lug-to-lug, and the arc of the case, you can really see its curvature, ensures that this watch wears about 2 to 3 millimeters smaller than its rated size. It really is an excellent ergonomic solution. The rubber strap that's fitted is an excellent piece, making the watch even more comfortable and better suited to its aquatic purpose. You can also see that with the combination of black and silver, you could easily wear this as a formal watch. In a world where a Rolex Submariner is a dress watch, this may as well be as well. I would recommend it for a wrist as small as 14 centimeters circumference. Let's get close and look at the strap. Simple, a chevron-style vulcanized rubber strap with a frosted border, and as you can see, you are getting a lot of vulcanized rubber here on the underside. Large chevrons to hold it in place on the wrist. You can see that it features simple apertures for a simple pin buckle, though it is a nice-looking piece, special and unique to the model, with beveled and polished sides, and then of course the satinated top. Handsome, like the watch itself. The timepiece is original. As you can see, the arc of the case is unconventional for the dive watch segment. The case band itself is nice and thin, which evokes the 1960s original and makes the watch look thinner than it really is. You'll also note that unlike a more common horizontal striation, the satin finish is vertical, which gives it a unique appearance. There's a lovely bevel that runs from lug to lug and gives the watch a little jewelry-like highlight, and then you can see there's a sort of concentric circular brushed finish that runs across the lug tops. The knurling of the crown is handsome, with the recesses media blasted and the outer face is polished. The detent is good. You feel the grip, solid, secure, and then it's chunky. I would describe its detent as chunky, but listen for yourself. It's not quite the smooth glide of a Grand Seiko or a Blancpain. It feels a little bit like an Omega Planet Ocean, and maybe that's the Swatch Group lineage. You're getting a solid detent, 120 click. You can line up the ceramic bezel insert with the minute hand, which is large and broad arrow, so you can easily regard the count up 0 to 60 minute timer. I always prefer diving bezels to chronographs, and that obtains here as well. As you can see, the crystal is dramatically cambered to evoke the plexiglass of the 1960s original, so you get that charming off-axis distortion, but also the scratch resistance of ceramic, I should say, of sapphire. And the timepiece is taking some liberties with the metric system. As we know, 300 meters is not exactly 1,000 feet, but make no mistake, this watch is tested to 125% of its rated depth, so we're going to forgive that 1,000 foot rule of thumb conversion. All of the indices and numerals are applique and handsome. I particularly like the open 6 down at 6 o'clock. It is indeed made in Germany. The dial is black and anti-reflective, and as you can see, there's a little aperture over the panorama date, as well as a handsome Glashutte Original logo counterweight to the Bob style loomed seconds hand. You can see there is that panorama datum, or outsized date, with 2 discs, not 1, and the watch features both stop seconds or hacking, and you'll note it's a screw down crown. It features a quickset system, so you can rapidly cycle the date, which is a lovely piece of horological theater in its own right. Now, the watch is powered by the caliber 3613, which is an adaptation of the high-grade automatic that debuted back at Basel World 2016. As you can see, There's a lovely new water resistance logo for this model line, the Specialiste line featuring highly water resistant divers, and this one is the most deluxe in mechanical spec. Adjusted to 6 positions with 41 joules, the watch has a 100-hour power reserve. It beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour, and it has what is effectively a free-sprung balance for shock resistance, adjusted in those 6 positions. Remember, the chronometer standard is 5 positions, so this is one better, giving deviation no place to hide. You have a silicone hairspring for anti-magnetism, and the watch goes through a multi-week testing process as these caliber 36 movements are finished as well as adjusted to exacting standards that meet and exceed chronometer tolerances. You'll also note the Glashutte stripes across the bridges, satination of the wheels, black polished screws, as well as swan's neck regulator, and a lovely double solar spiral on the reduction wheel for the winding system itself. The timepiece is handsome, versatile, fresh, and of course, the perennial favorite dive watch genre. Email tmosso at thewatchbox.com to own the newest thing from Saxony, above or below the waves. And we are back with the SeaQ Panorama date. Plenty of lume, big blue and bold by night.